Did you know that one of the most iconic players in NBA history once wore a wedding dress, dated Madonna, and was kicked out of his house as a young man? If you're curious to learn how Dennis Rodman, the legendary Worm, overcame unimaginable challenges to become one of the greatest rebounders of all time, stay with us. In this video, we're going to explore Rodman's life from his humble beginnings to his reign as one of the most feared bad boys in basketball. Dennis Rodman is a name that evokes a mix of admiration, curiosity, and even controversy. His NBA career was marked by moments of sheer brilliance, but also by eccentric episodes that kept him in the media spotlight. Born in Trenton, New Jersey, Rodman faced challenges from a young age, being raised by a single mother in a tough environment. However, it was precisely this adversity that shaped his character and drove him to become one of the most determined and resilient athletes the sports world has ever seen. Throughout this video, we're going to dive deep into Dennis Rodman's journey, from his troubled childhood to his rise as an NBA star. We'll understand what drove him to become one of the most emblematic players of his generation, exploring both his on-court achievements and his off-court quirks. Get ready to learn the full story of one of the most fascinating characters in basketball. Dennis Keith Rodman was born on May 13, 1961, in Trenton, New Jersey, into a family that faced significant hardships from the outset. His father, Philander Rodman Jr., left the family when Dennis was very young, abandoning his wife, Shirley, to raise Dennis and his two sisters, Deborah and Kim, on her own. This early abandonment had a profound impact on Dennis, shaping much of his early development and sense of self. Rodman's childhood was marked by a pervasive sense of loss and absence, with the weight of responsibility falling heavily on Shirley's shoulders as she worked tirelessly to provide for her children. The family eventually relocated to Oak Cliff, a notoriously rough and dangerous neighborhood in Dallas, Texas. Growing up in Oak Cliff exposed Dennis to the harsh realities of life from an early age. The environment was one where toughness was a necessity, and it was here that Rodman began to develop the resilient and defiant personality that would later become his trademark. However, this tough exterior masked the deep emotional scars left by his father's absence and the sense of neglect he felt at home. Despite the adversities, Rodman's two sisters excelled in basketball, drawing much of their mother's attention and praise. Dennis, in contrast, struggled to find his place, feeling overlooked and inferior compared to his siblings. This sense of inadequacy fueled his desire to prove himself, but it also bred feelings of resentment and isolation. The nickname, the Worm, which would later become synonymous with his identity, has its roots in this period. Contrary to what many believe, the nickname did not originate from his prowess on the basketball court. Instead, it came from his childhood obsession with playing pinball. As a young boy, Rodman would often be found at the pinball machine, moving with frantic energy from side to side, mimicking the movements of the game's silver ball. His mother, amused by his intensity and focus, started calling him the Worm, a name that would stick with him for life. This seemingly trivial nickname would come to symbolize the unpredictability and eccentricity that defined his character. During his adolescence, Rodman's challenges intensified. He continued to feel overshadowed by his sisters, who were gaining recognition for their basketball talents. His mother's apparent favoritism toward them exacerbated his feelings of inadequacy, and he began to question his worth. Desperate for validation, Dennis turned to basketball as a means of earning the attention and respect he craved. However, standing only 5 feet 6 inches, 1.68 meters, at the age of 14, he was considered too small and was rejected by his school's basketball team. This rejection was a crushing blow to Rodman's fragile self-esteem. Feeling humiliated and defeated, he temporarily gave up on the sport, retreating further into himself. This period of his life was marked by a profound sense of alienation and confusion. Rodman found himself at a crossroads, struggling to navigate the complexities of adolescence without the guidance and support he desperately needed. His experiences during these formative years laid the groundwork for the complex and often contradictory personality that the world would later come to know. A man who could be both fiercely independent and deeply insecure, both a rebel and a seeker of approval. The challenges and adversities he faced during his childhood and adolescence would shape his approach to life and basketball, driving him to push boundaries and defy expectations at every turn. After finishing high school, Dennis Rodman found himself at a low point in his life. He was working as a night janitor at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, a job that reflected his feelings of being stuck and directionless. Rodman was lost, with no clear path or purpose, and his future seemed uncertain. However, during this seemingly bleak period, an unexpected and extraordinary change occurred that would alter the course of his life forever. In the span of just 1 year, Rodman experienced a dramatic physical transformation. He grew more than 12 inches, 30 centimeters, eventually reaching an imposing height of 6 feet 7 inches, 2.01 meters. This sudden growth spurt was not just a physical change. It was a pivotal moment that reignited his passion for basketball, a sport he had once abandoned in despair. At 20 years old, Rodman decided to take advantage of his newfound height and physicality by giving basketball another try. This decision marked the beginning of his remarkable journey from obscurity to stardom. His renewed interest in the sport was driven not only by his physical transformation, but also by a burning desire to prove himself and escape the limitations of his previous life. Rodman's return to basketball was fueled by a determination to succeed, to carve out a place for himself in a world that had often seemed indifferent to his struggles. Rodman's second chance at basketball didn't go unnoticed. A coach from Cook County College, a small college in Texas, saw the potential in the young man who had suddenly become a towering presence on the court. Despite his poor academic performance, Rodman's athleticism and raw talent stood out immediately. In his first season at Cook County College, he averaged an impressive 17.6 points and 13.3 rebounds per game, showcasing the skills that would later define his career. However, despite his success on the court, Rodman's academic difficulties persisted, and they eventually led to his transfer to Southeastern Oklahoma State University. At Southeastern, Rodman found an environment that was more conducive to his development as both a player and a person. The university, with its smaller setting and supportive community, provided Rodman with the stability he needed to focus on his game. From 1984 to 1986, Rodman's performance on the basketball court was nothing short of extraordinary. He was named the best player in his league 3 times, consistently putting up impressive numbers, including averages of 25.7 points and 15.7 rebounds per game. These statistics were a testament to his relentless work ethic and his growing dominance in the paint. What truly set Rodman apart, though, was his exceptional talent for grabbing rebounds. His ability to read the ball's trajectory, combined with his tenacity and willingness to outwork his opponents, made him a force to be reckoned with under the basket. This skill, more than any other, would come to define his career and make him a legend in the NBA. As Rodman's reputation grew, so did the attention from NBA scouts, who began to see him as a promising prospect with the potential to make a significant impact at the professional level. Rodman's journey from a janitor with little direction to a college basketball star on the brink of an NBA career is a story of resilience, transformation, and the power of seizing second chances. His physical transformation was the catalyst, but it was his determination to succeed against all odds that truly set him on the path to greatness. As he prepared to take the next step in his basketball career, Rodman was no longer the lost and insecure young man he had once been. He was now a player with a purpose, ready to make his mark on the world of sports. In 1986, Dennis Rodman was selected by the Detroit Pistons as the 27th overall pick in the NBA draft. Upon joining the team, Rodman found an already highly competitive roster, known as the NBA's Bad Boys. Coach Chuck Daly, who would become a father figure to Rodman, saw incredible potential in him, particularly in defense and rebounding. Rodman quickly stood out as one of the defensive pillars of the Pistons. Although he wasn't a great scorer, his energy and dedication on the court were unmatched. He fought for every rebound as if it were his last, and this fierce attitude made him a key piece in the team's defense. During his time with the Pistons, the team consistently ranked among the league's top 5 defenses, a remarkable achievement largely due to Rodman's relentless performance. It was also during this period that the Pistons earned the Bad Boys nickname. The team didn't hesitate to use physical and sometimes unorthodox tactics to secure victories. Rodman, with his aggressive on-court demeanor, fit perfectly into this style of play. He helped the Pistons win back-to-back NBA championships in 1989 and 1990, cementing his place in league history. Despite his extraordinary success on the basketball court, Dennis Rodman's personal life was often defined by controversy and a constant battle with his inner demons. Rodman's life off the court was as colorful and unpredictable as his performances during the game, making him one of the most enigmatic figures in sports history. His eccentric lifestyle, flamboyant personality, and audacious public stunts frequently made headlines, pushing him into the spotlight for reasons that had little to do with basketball. One of the most iconic and shocking moments in Rodman's life came in 1993 when he appeared in public dressed as a bride to promote his autobiography, Bad as I Wanna Be. This event was not just a publicity stunt. It was a bold statement that symbolized Rodman's transformation from an NBA star into a pop culture icon. The image of Rodman in a wedding dress, complete with makeup and a veil, challenged traditional gender norms and defied societal expectations, making him a symbol of rebellion and individuality. This act of self-expression was a clear indication that Rodman was no longer just an athlete. He had become a cultural phenomenon, someone who transcended the boundaries of sports and entered the realm of celebrity and entertainment. Rodman's life was further complicated by his high-profile relationships with several celebrities, most notably with the pop superstar Madonna. Their relationship, filled with wild rumors and sensational stories, captivated the media and the public. According to rumors, Madonna was so infatuated with Rodman that she allegedly tried to get pregnant by him, hoping to create a child with his unique genetic makeup. Whether true or not, these stories only added to Rodman's mystique, making him one of the most talked-about athletes of the 1990s. His unpredictable behavior, coupled with his associations with celebrities, ensured that Rodman remained in the public eye, often for reasons that had little to do with his basketball prowess. However, beneath the flamboyant exterior and the constant media attention, there was a man who was deeply troubled, struggling with emotional and psychological issues that he could not easily escape. Rodman's wild antics and eccentric behavior were often a mask for the feelings of loneliness, inadequacy, and depression that plagued him throughout his life. Despite his fame, Rodman frequently expressed feelings of isolation, revealing a side of him that was vulnerable and insecure. These emotional struggles manifested in self-destructive behaviors, including substance abuse and reckless actions that sometimes overshadowed his achievements on the court. Rodman's personal turmoil, however, did not diminish his brilliance as a basketball player. Even as his life off the court spiraled into chaos, he continued to excel in the game, particularly during his time with the Chicago Bulls. Playing alongside legends like Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, Rodman formed one of the most dominant trios in NBA history. His tenacity, defensive prowess, and unparalleled ability to grab rebounds made him an indispensable part of the Bulls' success during the 1990s, contributing to their 3 consecutive NBA championships from 1996 to 1998. Rodman's time with the Bulls was the pinnacle of his basketball career, but it was also a period where the contrast between his professional success and personal struggles was most stark. On the one hand, he was celebrated as one of the greatest defensive players the game had ever seen, a vital cog in a championship-winning machine. On the other hand, his off-court life was a constant source of scandal and controversy, as he grappled with his demons in the harsh glare of the public eye. In many ways, Rodman's story is a tale of 2 lives: the celebrated athlete who achieved greatness on the basketball court, and the troubled individual who struggled to find peace and stability in his personal life. His controversies and personal transformations highlight the complexities of fame and the pressures that come with being in the public spotlight. Despite everything, Rodman's legacy as one of the most unique and influential figures in the history of sports remains intact, a testament to his extraordinary talent and the indelible mark he left on the game of basketball and popular culture. Dennis Rodman retired from professional basketball in 2000, closing a chapter on a career marked by remarkable achievements and unforgettable moments. However, his legacy extends far beyond his on-court success. Rodman is celebrated not only as one of the greatest rebounders in NBA history, but also as a groundbreaking cultural icon who pushed the boundaries of conventional norms. Rodman's impact on sports and society is profound, largely due to his fearless self-expression and defiance of traditional gender roles. In an era when public figures were often expected to conform to strict societal standards, Rodman boldly challenged these expectations. His flamboyant style, which included neon-colored hair, extravagant tattoos, and a penchant for cross-dressing, was a radical departure from the norm. By publicly embracing his individuality, Rodman opened the door for future athletes and celebrities to express themselves authentically, regardless of societal pressures. His approach to self-expression not only redefined what it meant to be a public figure, but also paved the way for greater acceptance of diversity and nonconformity in mainstream culture. Beyond his influence on popular culture, Rodman's life and career were marked by his involvement in global issues, showcasing his desire to make an impact beyond the basketball court. One of the most notable and controversial aspects of his post-basketball career was his relationship with North Korea. Rodman made several high-profile visits to the country, where he developed a highly unconventional and contentious friendship with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. These visits, while met with significant skepticism and criticism, demonstrated Rodman's willingness to use his celebrity status to engage in diplomacy and global affairs. His actions, though often misunderstood, highlighted his belief in the power of personal connections to bridge divides and his readiness to tackle international issues in ways that few others would. Rodman's involvement in North Korea is emblematic of his broader approach to life: unconventional, provocative, and unapologetically bold. His attempts at diplomacy, while not always successful or well-received, underscored his commitment to breaking barriers and exploring new avenues of influence. In this sense, Rodman's legacy extends beyond the realm of sports into the arena of international relations and cultural diplomacy, reflecting his unique role in shaping global conversations. In contemporary culture, Dennis Rodman remains a compelling figure and a symbol of resilience and individuality. His life story is a testament to overcoming personal and professional challenges, showcasing the importance of staying true to oneself despite criticism and adversity. Rodman's career in the NBA was distinguished by his incredible skill as a defender and rebounder, earning him accolades such as NBA Defensive Player of the Year and multiple NBA championships. Yet, it is his larger-than-life persona and his impact on both sports and popular culture that continue to captivate and inspire. Rodman's legacy is a rich tapestry woven with threads of triumph, controversy, and cultural significance. His willingness to defy norms and embrace his true self has left an indelible mark on the world, influencing not only the way athletes are perceived but also how society views individuality and self-expression. For many, Dennis Rodman will forever be remembered as the Worm, a man who defied expectations, made bold choices, and left a lasting impact on the world of sports and beyond. His story serves as a reminder of the power of authenticity and the enduring influence of those who dare to be different. Dennis Rodman is not just an NBA legend. He is a symbol of perseverance and authenticity. His life journey, full of ups and downs, inspires not only basketball fans but anyone who has ever faced seemingly insurmountable challenges. Rodman teaches us that, even in the face of adversity, it's possible to reinvent yourself and leave a lasting legacy. If you enjoyed learning more about Dennis Rodman's life and career, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. That way, you'll stay tuned for more fascinating stories from the world of sports. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any content. See you in the next video.